Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Dorota, Palicka, International Nail Artist and Educator here. And I'm in with Brittany, and today we are going to do a sculpted set of the nails. So I'm just sanitizing her hands and my hands, just rub it in. And then we are going to push back her cuticles. So just push back the cuticles, pretty nice and strong, but not hurtful for a client. And she got tiny nails, like really tiny nails. So I thought I will show you like how I'm doing a sculpted set on the client. And then using a blue scrub, I'm cleaning the nail plate just because there might be some oils or something, and I don't want to rub this in with the nail file. Then etching the corners of my file. So when I've got a file, I'm just removing those corners. Because I don't want to hurt her. And then shaping the free edge and scratching the surface of the natural nail plate. There cannot be any shiny places on the nail. So making sure all the shine is removed. But at the same time, you don't want to overfile those nails, because if the nails are overfiled, nothing is going to last on them well. So remove the shine and do the same on another nail. Make sure you do it really well around the cuticle area. Like really well. Because if there is any cuticle on the nail plate, the nail is going to lift really bad. Also, when filing at the sides, you have to be very careful, to don't go too strong with your file, because that's where you cut the client, where you could cut the client really bad. For the form application, I want my free edge to be nice and rounded shape. And then another nail. This one is actually really tiny. I really like using this motion because at the same time I'm pushing back the cuticles and I really get through those corners. Because it is easy, guys, to file the middle of the nail, and we always file the middle of the nail perfectly. And it's those corners and the sides where something can go wrong. Okay, so I'm always trying to concentrate more on those sides around the cuticle area, all those corners, and then try to leave the middle at the end because we always get it perfect anyway. And the last nail. Okay, after I have completed the nail preparation, I would go and I would check it just in case, because I don't want to miss any place. So just in case, I'm checking them. If there is any other places I should touch up, and I'm doing so. When we're filing pretty quick, I'm trying to slow down for you guys, but when we're filing pretty quick, you can miss maybe some place. So I'm always going checking it again. Then remove the dust. So there is no dust. And again, dehydrate with the blue scrub. Okay, so I'm dehydrating full nail plate. nice and squeaky. Extra nail dehydrator. Apply it on the entire nail plate. And then we can start the foam application. So I'm using the Nail Perfect sculpting forms. Peel this on the back and then pre-pinch the form in between the fingers. So like I'm just rolling it in. I want to have a nice pinch. I'm closing a little bit the form and then hiding a client view so they don't help me too much, because if the client helps you too much then the form application goes wrong. Find the middle and then apply the form. Once I'm happy with it, I can start closing the form. Okay, so don't close the form until you're 100% sure as that's the right place you want the form. And I don't like my forms going down the way too much, because then the nails looks ugly when they go down the way. And I'm doing exactly the same on the next finger. So put it down. Find the middle. And then start closing this form. And the form application is crucial, like for you. If you get it right, the shape of the nail is going to be right. If you get it ugly, the shape of the nail is going to be ugly. I need to loosen this form, and if I don't manage to loosen it a little bit, I will have to just pull it down and take it off, because I've got little bend in there. And I will just pull it probably off, will be quicker. Yeah. The reason for it is I tried to pinch it and I over pinch it a little bit, and I'm pinching the nails just so they've got nice and slender look. So to do that without of bending the form, I'm going to give it 2 cuts on the sides of the form and then pre-pinch in between the fingers. So I'm just rolling in my fingers. And honestly, guys, sometimes it's really much quicker to remove the form than trying to fix the form which went wrong. Okay, and now I'm really happy I have no bends. The actual process of applying the forms is pretty time consuming, and but then you don't have to blend the difference like you do with the tips. So both of forms, like doing the extensions both on the tips or on the forms, has its advantages and disadvantages. I mean, obviously with the form we can get the nicest shape compared to the tips, but I still use quite a lot of tips in the salon, like lots. I mean, most of my clients get the nails on the tips. And I charge more like for the sculpting nails as well. Obviously it takes much more technical knowledge and much more skills than it does to apply the tips. Okay, so we've got the last form to go on. And we will be going for a coffin shape, very popular shape. Again, I should cut the form straight away. So I'm just taking a form, cut it, and even a tiny bit more in the middle. Those index fingers, they usually got some hyponicum, and I find it by cutting the middle we can actually get it a little bit better form fit. Okay, now I'm just checking if they're nice and straight. And now we can apply the extra nail dehydrator again, in case if we have introduced any oils into the nail plate. Then let it dry and apply the universal air bond. And universal air bond works like a double-sided tape which join our natural nail plate with the gel. Okay, so just wait a couple seconds for it to dry and apply the universal air bond. Again, I need to wait a couple seconds for it to dry, so I've got time to apply one form on the other hand. Like, I always try to use those any kind of extra time I've got left. And I'm not going to apply the form yet on the other fingers because I want to start cooking this hand first, so it is ready for filing. You've got so tiny. Okay, I'm just going to apply this gel on this hand now. And we will be using a fiber gel and light soft pink color. So that's a soft pink color. I show you actually the full tap. Okay, so I'm starting with a nice and thin layer. So nice and thin layer, nice and thin layer, and then extend the free edge. Now we will have to watch how Brittany is curing this finger, because it tends to run more into the one side, and I really don't want the product to run too much into the one side. And I'm doing the extension to the letter M. Okay, so apply it at the free edge, then put it inside. Perfect, thank you so much. Okay, now I need to cure this hand 30 seconds, so I'm able to pinch it. So I've got 30 seconds to apply the nail form on the next nail. Okay, I take this hand, and now we can start pinching. So for pinching, we are going to use the pinching clamp. And what I'm doing is I'm just applying at the widest part of the nail with pinching clamp to pinch this nail. Not all nails are suitable for a pinching, so you really need to make sure you know what you're doing before you start pinching the nails. And because some of the nails can either crack or they can really badly lift it on the sides, so I'm checking how the nail is behaving before I will release the clamp. Not sore?
Not sore.
Okay, inside. And then finish the curing for another 30 seconds. And apply the form on another nail. Not sore?
No. Just trying not to hit it.
You're doing well. Obviously, the form application is also difficult as well. The sets on the forms as well, like in case if the clients hit it somewhere or all your hard work don't pays off, like because they bang or they don't keep the nail straight in, and then you might have some disaster. So I kind of always checking what is going on as well. I take the other hand. Okay, I can release this clamp and this nail is nicely pinched. So I'm going to do another nail now. Nice and thin layer. Nice and thin layer. And this is to build up the skeleton of the nail. Just so we've got something to follow. Pick up the bigger scope of the product. And then extend the free edge. Also very important for a pinching, if you want to have a nice pinch inside, you need to distribute your product really well. If you don't, then the places where you've got more product will pinch less, and the places where you've got less product will pinch more. So this way you can make a nail really uneven. So only do the pinching if you really know what you're doing. Now the pinky. And then really roll the form in between the fingers. And apply it in. I'm not 100% happy with this form application. Now I take your other hand so we can pinch it again. Not sore?
No.
Inside. And the reason for it is I just need to cut out a little bit more, because this nail tends to go a bit square and I really don't like it the way the form went in. Kind of flat. It doesn't have a C-curve, this nail. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm flying bits and pieces of the forms everywhere. So I cannot squish this form too much with my form application. I will squish it once the product is in to get a better pinch. Extra nail dehydrator. And what is awesome now, when this dehydrator is going to dry, I've got time to apply the product on the other hand. Perfect. So this is a pretty long set, especially for such a tiny nails, but I know the Britannia is really taking care of her nails and they always come back nice and intact. So I'm not scared to apply this length of the nails on my client. Inside. Universal air bond going into the other hand. Again, I've got 30 seconds. Perfect, I take the other hand. And apply the skeleton of the nail on this one. The middle finger is too early to pinch, so you really kind of need to concentrate what you're doing when the full sculpted set. And at the joint place, I always put a tiny bit more product, like a little bit thicker than I do it at the free edge. Inside. Okay, so couple seconds cure, and then I'm doing the same on this hand. So nice and thin layer, cover the entire surface of the natural nail plate, and then build up the free edge. Right up to the letter M. Maybe a little bit longer because on this nail we have cut the form, so change. And now the middle finger is ready for pinching. I think, guys, this is one of the first times when I'm showing you a full set. And this one is not change. So nice and thin layer, nice and thin layer. Extend the free edge. So if I'm getting a client booked in for a tips, I always book an 1.5 hour appointment. If I'm getting a client, and that's include the artwork. And then if I'm getting a client for a sculpted nails, I would book 2 hours, like, because sculpting definitely takes longer. Change. Okay, I can release the cramp from this nail. And now this nail, I'm just checking if there is any missing places. No, there is not. I can release the form and I can start building the apex. So nice and thin layer through the entire nail. And then pick up the scoop of the product to build up our apex. One side, other side, one side, other side. I'm working more through the middle because at the edges and at the free edge I've got enough product already. And also by the time I finish it, the product is going to run in there anyway. Okay, inside. Just watch it so it doesn't get hot. This nail is ready for pinching, not sore.
No.
And I'm not going to leave the clamp on it. It's too delicate nail. Not sore.
No.
Change. Okay, I can pull the form down from this nail as well. Just relax it. Perfect. So nice and thin layer. Nice and thin layer. And now we are going to build up the structure. So a big scoop of the product. And then start distributing it through the entire nail. But don't go too close to the sides, because by the time you finish applying it, it is going to run to those sides anyway. Change. Okay, the same on this nails. And we are working into the coffin shape, so I'm kind of doing it almost a tapered square, just in case, so I've got something to file, like I don't want to have missing places. And I'm always putting those extra product in. Change. I can pull the form down. Okay, apply the product in. And a big scoop for the apex. I'm actually really liking the consistency of the gel because it's really nice and runny, so I don't have to massage it as much, and it's much quicker for me, like if the gel is runny. But as long as you take into the consideration that you cannot go too close to the sides, because by the time you finish it, it is going to be there. Change. And I'm really not bothered too much about like making the shape 100% perfect, because if you would concentrate too much on it, the gel would just start running. It's better to cook it, cure it, and then after you do that, you can go and check it if there is any missing places and just add it on. First of all, you will have a better control, and then secondly, the shape will be nicer as well. Okay, so that's what I find it is. It's a little bit different than what I have been learned like in school and everything, because they always tell us like, oh, make the nails perfect. Change. But I find that by the time we make the perfect, they are messed up really. So I don't use this technique. It just doesn't work for me. And probably for most of my students as well. I find it like the biggest mistake they was playing too long time with the gel. And you really don't have that time to play with the gel. You just have to slap it in and that's it. Okay, so help yourself as well, like finger goes down the way, and I don't know why, like Brittany is never stiff, but she's really stiff today. Honestly guys, she's always so relaxed, like with her hand. Change. Cool, so I'm not going to pinch this nail. The only one I'm going to pinch is this one. Not sore?
No.
Just shout and scream. Not sore?
No.
Change. Oops. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Change. Difficult task, put the hand in. Now, we have almost finished this nail, so I'm taking a final look into them and just applying any places where I feel the product I need a more product in. Okay, so I need a tiny bit in this corner. And also, if you've got a little product in, you can easily kind of smooth it out, like you've got lots of control over it. So I'm just really touching up some places. Thank you. Awesome change. And then once they touch up, this hand can fully cure and we can concentrate on this hand. And then when we finish it, the other hand is going to be ready to file. My tummy sounds like a lunchtime. Okay, pick up a big scope of the product. One side, other side, one side, other side. Change. This hand is still not cured, so I've got time to tidy up my desk. So just so like later on it will be easier for me to do the design on these nails and I'm not going to have too much mess. Change. It looks pretty messy, but I show you guys like with the filing that it doesn't even take us long to sort it out. Change. Change again. So I really wanted to only freeze this product. And again a scope. One side, other side, one side, other side. Change. Finally, this hand is ready for filing. So I'm just going to freeze the other product on the ring finger and then do the pinky so this other hand can cook it as well. Once we are shaping this hand, I take this hand. Perfect. So the form goes down. It is also easier as well for the model to keep the hand inside when the forms are released. Okay, inside. So I'm start filing. Now just watch please so it doesn't get hot, okay? And for a coffin shape we need to go nice V shape. So I'm removing all those extra bits and pieces which I've got on my nails. Okay, one side, other side, one side, other side. As you can see it doesn't take me too long to file it, even when we had some excess of the products at the free edge. But this way is better and easier for me. I'm not scared I'm going to overfile it, like, or have product missing somewhere. Then blend everything around the cuticle area. So blend everything nice. Go even more coffin, so more V shape. Bring it higher up and then start smoothing it out. Clean it well. And we've got the first nail ready. I'm just going to touch up the other hand so I can pull all the forms down. Don't want to pinch you. Okay, and just checking, okay. So drop in there, drop in there. Obviously, the shorter the nails are, the easier it is to sculpt them, and the shorter time we take. And this one has plenty. And so I can put away my gel, and we can shape another nails. Okay, V shape. File a little bit at the one time, like don't file too much. So I have only taken a little bit, okay? Then I would file around the cuticle area because that's the place where I know I need to file. And then file again a little bit, and that's the easiest way to keep filing. Good afternoon, Susan. Okay, sorry guys, just had to pick up the phone. So we are shaping this hand. Okay, so don't file too much at the one place, like file a little bit, a little bit. Nice coffin shape. And then remove any excess of the product from the top. And if you start filing always with the places which you're 100% sure, this way you can get a much nicer shape. Because you kind of think about every movement of the file you do rather than just filing wherever. Okay, and the same on this one. So as you can see, it just really, even if we have made it kind of messy, it doesn't take long because the messy part is very thin and all our structure is in the middle, and that's what stays on the nail. But I prefer it. Like, I mean, in case, imagine I've got some missing product and I didn't have those extra sides and I needed it added on, I would have to apply the fresh form, and that would be so time consuming. Okay, blend that in, straight the free edge, and same is better to do them a little bit longer because you can always shorten it a little bit and you've got something to play with for the sets on the form. But I'm talking about little bits, like, you know, I don't know, an extra millimeter from each side. And I love the new sets because they're so much easier to kind of give them a nice shape compared to the rebalance on the nails which are really old, like the natural nails. Now I'm just smoothing everything out with the buffer. Okay, and we've got a nice nail. Do the same on the other hand. There is still gel polish going on top of it, so again, you cannot make them overly too thick. Okay, check it again, that's much better. And just buff it. This one is so ugly. We need to make it nice. Okay, V shape, V shape, V shape. If you have to shorten some nails, then you have to reshape it the sides so they're more coffin shape, and you have to remove excess of the product from the free edge, just so it's not too thick again, okay? On this nail, actually I'm glad it did happen, because it does happen to me sometimes as well. I definitely miss a little bit of product. And that's in this place, definitely 100%. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm quickly scratching the surface of the nail, remove the dust, and quickly apply this product in. So nice and thin layer through the entire nail, plus an extra bead in those missing places. Awesome, change. Now this hand is ready for filing, and I will probably have missing product on this nail as well. It looks like I'm struggling with Brittany's index fingers, but that's good because I can show you guys different type of nails. So V shape. Remove the excess from around the cuticle area, and I'm straight away going to add a drop of this product which I'm missing on this nail. So give it a couple of the scratches. And just add those missing product in. Okay, no more, because I don't want the nails to be too thick at the same time as well. Change. Yeah, and now this one is going to be nice, so I'm just removing this inhibition layer and reshaping this nail too. Blend everything around the cuticle area. Smooth it out at the free edge, and I love this movement. Coffin shape, like, it's my favorite movement for a coffin shape. Relax my model hand. Okay, they start looking nice. So the buffer is a pretty rough buffer, which means I'm creating lots of scratches, but at the same time I'm making my nails nicer shape. I really love using the buffer. Okay, free edge. Just make them all nice and pretty. So after I have filed all the nails, I'm going with my file and the buffer, and I'm checking if there is any other places I'm fussy about or I'm not happy with. And basically that's this set almost finished. Okay, so that's this hand all filed and ready for the color application, and we are going to do a nice set, but it is going to be a different tutorial. I'm just going to quickly show you on this hand as well, so you can see it like they were looking all ugly and messy like this, and then we can get easily this shape. And this one is the worst one, so I'm just going to quickly show you just to do the summary on one more and then finish it on my own. So nice V shape. Okay, one side, other side, one side, other side, and you can see already how much it's changed. File the free edge and look how much nicer already it is. Okay, one side, other side, and you keep filing like this, but don't file too much in a one place. You want to jump from place to place, okay? So this way you will get the nicest results. Because if we file too long in a one place, we always overfile it, and then you've got a trouble. Okay, then blend around the cuticle area. I always love this move. First of all, it's preventing nail lifting. So if you really properly file around the cuticle area and the nail is really nicely blended in, there is no place to catch, the nails are not going to lift. And also your gel polish application is going to be much nicer as well. Okay, side walls. And the next one. When I'm filing as well, you can see it, guys, I'm really protecting my client's cuticles, like I don't want to cut her, but I'm also supporting her nail as well, like holding it from underneath or from the top, depending which direction I'm filing. So one side, other side, one side, other side, free edge. Not sore when I file?
No.
You blend everything around the cuticle area. I was supposed to finish, eh? It's more, guys, for you to watch. And the pinky. So one side, other side, really support this nail, especially with such a short nail beds. As I say, it's like normally I wouldn't even put as long extensions on such a short nails. But because I know Brittany takes care of her nails, and we can do an extension longer than 100% of the nail bed, but 100% of the nail bed is the best kind of extensions for a client, the most safe one to do. So what that means is like the length of the nail bed, we can extend it, and like obviously her nail beds are really short, as you can see it on this nail, even they're tiny. Okay, the last touches of the file, then quickly buff them. Remove the dust, and that's the finished sculpted set. Now we are going to decorate it in a separate video. But anyway guys, I hope you have really enjoyed watching this tutorial. Good eatery hacks, and bye for now.